Hello, it's me. How you doing? Brian, good evening. Was that ready with my tea and Dunker's shortbread? Oh, shortbread. Love a bit of shortbread. One of my favourites, that one. Love a bit of that. So how are we doing? I hope we're all doing okay out there. I hope you've had an okay week. Nothing too strenuous or anything like that, you know. So let's carry on with this picture of Megan, I suppose. Haven't got a lot to report, so we'll just crack on. Let's find the right. Good evening, Dennis. Dennis, I didn't reply to you. Apologies. It's been a rough couple of days. I'll get back to you tonight. Okay, after the stream, I'll message you. Because you sent me a picture of the bike the other way around, didn't you? So I'll get on that after the stream. All right, mate. So we need to switch to the painting, which is that camera there. There we go. So that's how far we got last time, if you remember. Zoom. We started to paint in all of our tattoos. So we'll just carry on with that, I suppose. I've not had much time to play with it. I did have a little play with the hair. If I really zoom in, if it'll focus. Come on, focus. Focus. There you go. I just got a black coloured pencil in there and did the really fine strokes just on the edge, just to crispen things up, and some strands around her ear and stuff. That was just a regular black watercolour pencil. Nothing too spanky. Right, set that up like that. Bingo. Just make sure that's not my daughter, because she's on her way back from Thorpe Park. It is my daughter. 2 seconds. Predictive text, jeez. See you soon. Send. Cool. Right. Apologies about that. So, what we got in the airbrush? I have got 3 drops of the illustration black with 6 drops of the illustration reducer. And then the rest of it is just water, and it's almost filled my cup up. I don't go too far up, because of course when you're swinging the airbrush around, it can slop out of the cup and go all over your painting, which nobody wants. So put my end cap over there, get an air supply. Cool beans. Okay. Now, I cleaned out my airbrush right before stream, so just to make sure I'm not going to make a big blob on here when I first start painting. Yeah, that's flowing lovely. Okay. Let's boogie them. So what you guys been up to since last stream? Anything exciting? I haven't. I haven't had any tattoos to do. I've just been kicking around at home, sorting some stuff out. Will change next week though. I actually have some work to do next week, so I can actually afford to buy the kids some food, which is always a good thing. I was looking at this the other day, because I leave it on my easel here, and so of course whenever I go in the kitchen I walk straight past it, and I was looking at this and I think this is a little bit too black. So once I've done, I'm going to continue the way I was doing it, and then once I've finished her tattoos, I think I'm going to go in with a bit of this flesh tone again, just on the highlighted areas where the lightest tone is, and just dust some over the top just to knock it back a little bit and give it that 3D look. Because of course in the edges here, as it curls around the back of the arm, it would be darker, and then where you got a highlight it would be lighter. So I'm just going to dust over some of the flesh tone again just to knock it back a bit in places. Was that started a Medusa project, and next Friday off to Cornwall for a wee. Ah, yes, I saw your Medusa picture. It's really cool, mate. That's I love doing Medusa. She's one of my favourite characters of all time. You know, mythological creature character thingy. But I hate doing the snake scales. I'm a complete detail freak, so I love doing all the scales. You know, I prefer to paint all the scales rather than, like, you know, shadowy shapes that suggest the scales. But it just takes forever. I always go way too detailed with my Medusas, and yeah, it takes me an age to do the snakes. Got a lot of tip dry tonight. Your new shed build sounds good. Yeah, it's not going to happen for a little while, because I'm going to need to make thousands of pounds. But yeah, the end goal would be to have a workshop at the end of the garden big enough for me and my airbrushing and all that lot, and the wife's taxidermy stuff, rather than doing it all at the minute. She uses the kitchen for her taxidermy stuff, and I've taken over our dining room. All this you see on the webcam, this is our dining room, and I've just taken it over. So it would be nice to have a dining room back, and for me to put all my painty stuff out there. Plus it means I can live stream whenever. I don't have to wait until the wife's at work. Just colouring his hair there, because it's solid black. But having to go careful because my paint is pretty well reduced, so I'm watching out for spiders, and also I can erase the paint if I'm not too careful. So like the reducer in the paint in the airbrush actually washes away the paint on the paper if you're not careful when it's this reduced. Keep plenty of air on it to dry it out, you know. Once it's dry it's pretty bulletproof, but Right, so the shadow is on that side of his face. There's a spit. And his His shirt is basically solid black in the picture. Good evening, Simon. Not bad, thank you, mate. Hope all is good with you. Do you think you'll be able to make the UK Airbrush Forum get together this year in Coventry? Honestly, mate, I don't think I will, to be honest. I'd love to be there, but I look after my parents. My mum's been disabled since I was about 13, and my dad had a brain aneurysm a few years ago, so I'm pretty much on call for them 24/7. And the wife with her MS, I don't like leaving her alone for days at a time or whatever, or without the car for any longer than I have to. So I don't think I'll be able to make it, mate, to be honest. I'd love to be there, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. Buffy. It's the first time I've been called Buffy. Great TV show. Used to love that show so much. Oh, Buffy and Angel, all that lot. Me and the missus loved those shows. When we were young and courting. Used to hop on the train every Friday night in Basingstoke, where I used to work, and go up to London, meet her at Paddington because she lived in London at the time, and then go back to her place, well, Mum's place, curl up in front of the telly with a cup of tea and some good telly, and 9 times out of 10 it was Buffy, X-Files, Angel, Star Trek, something like that. Last couple of seasons ran out of steam a bit for me, but the first 3 of Buffy were awesome. Yeah, the last couple of seasons, it was almost like they didn't know what to do with it, wasn't it? I did like the whole twist on the whole Chosen One thing and how it turned out not to be Angel and it was actually Spike. I liked that. Didn't see that coming at all. Talking of Star Trek, there's a new season of Picard on, isn't there? I think season 2 of Picard has started. I watched season 1, thought it was alright. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're doing alright, buddy. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. I always hate that, where you've got a little blockage or something and you've pulled back on the needle enough that you know the paint should be coming out, but nothing is coming out. And you think to yourself, do I give it another fraction of a millimetre on the trigger to see if any paint comes out? Or will I get a huge splat? Angel was surprisingly strong throughout the whole run of the spin-off show. Yeah, it was. It really was. Bex, my missus, she hates the way Angel ended with that big dragon. When he just goes... personally, I want to slay the dragon or something like that, and then it just cuts off. She absolutely hated that ending. I thought it was a really good way to end it. Left it wide open. But yeah, that really annoyed her. Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Ian. Yeah, plodding on as you do, you know. That's him done. His little buddy there. In the reference photo, he's basically pitch black. You can't even see that detail, but I'll leave it there anyway. Maybe add a little bit of shading on his hair. Just like so. And that is basically black. That little hockey stick shaped thing has a little bit of shading down this edge. Now look, spit. Told you. Marvellous. Yeah, I really like the ending. Yeah, I don't think they could have ended it any other way, to be honest. Really liking how this piece is coming together. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I never have a real set plan to my stuff, to be honest. I always let them do what they're gonna do. I mean, I was originally gonna match the let's move the camera and give you all motion sickness. I was originally going to match the colours on that reference photo over there, which you can't really see. But I fell in love with these flesh tones. I was just mucking around with flesh tones and I fell in love with these. So I was like, all right, I'll drop that idea and we'll stick with this. And I like working like that. You know, you just let the painting bring itself into existence. You just go with the flow, sort of thing. And I like doing that. It's my favourite way to work. Sometimes having a set plan and sticking to it can be a bit boring. Fly by the seat of your pants. It's much more exciting. And giving all your viewers motion sickness by keep moving the camera. There. Right, so this mass of whatever the hell that is, I can't remember what it was when I tattooed it now. It was a little while ago. And it's really dark on the reference picture. Come here. It's basically black on the reference picture. Oh well. Let's paint what we can see and not what we know is there. Best advice I ever got, because I do like to go too detailed on stuff. And someone once told me, I can't remember who it was now, but they said, don't paint what you know is there, just paint what you can see. So, like there, I know there's loads of detail in that, but I'm basically going to make it pretty much black, because that's what it looks like in the reference picture. I'm still on camera, aren't I? Yeah, just good. Spitty. I'm drying out quick tonight on the old tip. Don't know why. It's not hot in here or anything. I've got my heating turned off, because who can afford central heating anymore? How's the work situation going? Yeah. Yeah, it's going. I haven't had a single tattoo to do for 3 weeks, so I'm nearly a month with no income at the moment. Hopefully that will change next week. But hey, it could be worse. At least I've still got my looks, as they say. That sounds like a quote from Simon Murray. It could have very well been Simon Murray, mate. Yeah, that's the sort of thing he would say. In fact, you might very well be right. It might have been on one of his DVDs or one of his YouTube videos. Cheers, Simon. Yeah, it'll pick up. It's summertime. Everybody gets tattoos at summertime. And most people don't think I'm tattooing at the moment because our shop's shut. So I just need to get the word out that, you know, I'm at a different studio, but I'm still working. Once word gets out that I'm still stabbing people, then it'll be alright. Things will pick up. And like I say, if not, I'll just start an OnlyFans, it's okay. Or what was it we were talking about the other week? Airbrushing ASMR videos. Airbrush ASMR. Never thought about tattoos being seasonal, but it makes total sense as soon as you say it. Yeah, in the winter months it goes quite quiet. As soon as you get to around about now, around springtime, everybody realises that they're going to be getting their flesh out, and we get really busy. For the last 3-4 years, every summer I'm doing 12-hour days. They just can't work enough, and then in January you're sat there twiddling your thumbs for week after week with nothing to do. So it is a very seasonal thing. Once the weather goes cold and everyone puts the jumpers on, they're not really interested in getting tattoos because they're not showing them off. It can have a downside to it though, because of course if you've got a tattoo, a new tattoo, you've got to look after it. And the amount of times I've been tattooing someone and they've gone and said, oh, I'm off to, Marbella next week or whatever. And you're like, well, you've got a fresh tattoo, so there's no swimming, no sunbathing. You've just screwed up your holiday. If you go swimming or sunbathing with a fresh tattoo, then you're going to destroy it. It's going to need a touch-up. But a lot of people don't realise that. The ink will fade like crazy if you treat it like that. You've got to look after your fresh tattoos. Saturday Squirtin OnlyFans would definitely get some traffic. Yeah, definitely. Maybe I could hire some of these pretty models to stand around in the background or something. Or, do a live posing session or something. Life drawing. Good evening, Steve. How you doing, buddy? Right, this is just jet black, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Good God, why am I getting so much tip dry tonight? It's not normally this bad. There's my son come home. Well, that was my dog, that wasn't my son, but you know what I mean. I'm now imagining a weird Robert Palmer type setup with your airbrush. You might be onto something there, mate. Yeah. You could have them all sat in the background with their easels. Painting along with what I'm doing. Alright. Alright, mate, will do. Okie dokie, no worries. This bit's all black as well, isn't it? Yes. I am still on camera, aren't I? Yep, good. You can have that idea. Cheers, buddy. No commission needed there, eh? You're not going to sue me for copyright or anything. You'd have to come up with a name for them, wouldn't you? Like the Sviets or something. Something really cheesy like that. I missed what colour you're working with. It's doing a decent job of looking pretty true to that tattoo. Yeah, it's mainly because I've got it so chuffing reduced. But it is just some illustration black. I've got 3 drops of that in the paint cup with 6 drops of the illustration reducer and the rest of the paint cup filled up with water. But because I've got it so reduced, it kind of brings out the blue hue, because of course there is no such colour as black for those who don't know, so it's always made with like blue or brown, and this one is made with blue, so because you can see the blue hue coming through. And of course, anybody who's got a tattoo that's more than a few years old will tell you that the black kind of goes like a bluish colour. So it's a natural choice rather than a black that's made with brown. That would look a bit odd. It'd probably make her look like she's a bit sunburnt. I don't know if you were here when I said it actually, but I'm going to go over the highlighted areas on her arm, the bits that are the really light flesh tone. I'm going to go back over them with a light dusting of the flesh tone just to knock this black back a little bit, just to give it that look of a curved arm rather than just a flat tone of black, if you know what I mean. I was thinking that colour having more of a brown cast. It looks more blue than I'd expected. Yeah, it's definitely got a bluish tone. Unless it's because it's going over the flesh colour. I don't know. Let's have a look. Actually, do you know what? You're right. You can't really see it on the camera, but that does have a brown tint to it. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was made with blue because it's got a blue. It must be because of the flesh base on it. It's shifting it more towards blue rather than brown. Wow. You learn something new every day. Right, so that bit's black. That bit. That is really weird. I have no idea what that is, but I'll just go over my pencil lines anyway. You would have thought I'd remember from when I tattooed it, but nope. Oh, lots of spotting tonight. It's not flowing very well. It's just going instead of a nice even spray pattern. But never mind, we can work with it still. That's a bit better. I might have had a blockage. Right, so that's that bit. Then there's this weird bit over here that goes that way, but it's quite dark, so we'll shade that down. And there's a bit that goes across there and across there like that. Then down here we've got the remainder of that banner coming off here. Just got back again from Melbourne Theatre, saw Patrick Duffy this time. Wow. I haven't been to a theatre in years. Like years. Like decades. I'm so uncultured it's scary. It's cheap if you stay home though. Being social costs money. Right, and then that all there is solid black. no idea what these bits are, but they're very dark, so we'll just go over the pencil lines and then we'll shade it all down quite a bit. I've planned on doing the road tax for my motorbike for the 1st of April, and it looks like we're having some snow. So it's like, really? It's typical. Yeah, we've had summer now. This week was summer. Now we're going to be plunged back into the ice age again. It's a place where the cars are made. Ah, cool. Do they still make cars in the UK? Again, this is really dark, but that bit there is really light, so we got a dark bit there. Look at that. Cool. I don't know what it is, but that's what it looks like on the reference picture. And she's got a little swirl that comes off the very end of her bends, just there. Good God, Marshall. Jeez. It's a good job this isn't smell-o-vision. Ugh. Husky farts are vile. In case you didn't already know. There's today's bit of very important information for you. Are you doing any tattoo conventions this year? No, I'm not, mate. No, I as I mentioned earlier, conventions and shows and stuff are a bit difficult for me because I'm a carer for my parents who are both disabled, and And my missus with her MS, I don't like to leave her alone for very long, so I tend not to do any shows or conventions and stuff. Plus they cost a fortune. The last tattoo convention I did ended up costing me about 600 quid. Because you have to pay for the stand and your hotel and any food or anything you're going to eat while you're there. And yeah, it just costs a fortune. Unless you're one of these big wig famous tattooists who actually get invited to conventions and don't have to pay for their stands. It's just too expensive, unfortunately. I would like to. I did the Southampton one a few years back, and that was really. But like I say, it does hurt the old wallet quite a bit. Anyone else's sound gone stuttering and robotic? I hope not. Hopefully I'm okay. I haven't got any dropped frames or anything. I've banned my son from gaming too heavily, so hopefully I'm alright. With any luck it was just your headphones. That's cool. I'm about to swap internet service provider actually, so I think the 30th is my switch date. Hopefully my upload speed will be a bit better. At the minute I'm with Sky and I get about 4 or 5 meg upload. Me being out in Tut Country like I am. And I was with BT before a few years back. I seem to remember that I get like nearly 10 meg upload if I go with BT for some reason, because technically it's still the same line. So hopefully it'll be a bit better. How long gonna keep this line going before it starts spitting, do you reckon? Oh, it's starting to dot. There we go, that's as far as we got. Ah, we had a good run there. Have to ban the daughter when Wayne's on Sky also. Yeah, yeah, my son loves his gaming. My daughter is always watching something on streaming, so our broadband normally takes a good old beating. The joys of having two teenagers in the house. Come on, stop spitting and spray. So you've just put a new blank scratch plate on the guitar, no pickups, just the bridge, so more room for you to paint, plus the body is nicely rubbed down. Oh mate, you've rubbed the body down. Mate, love you. You're a star. Cheers, bud. Well, that saved you some money then. Yeah, there's less prep work to do. Cheers, buddy. If only everybody was as considerate as you. It's the worst bit of the preparation. Yeah, it is. It used to drive me nuts with the guitars, all the prep work involved. It's funny, I can be the most patient guy on the planet, but when it came to prep work, it drove me nuts. I was really impatient with it. Oh my god, this is so spitty tonight. How weird. It's really odd, isn't it? Those of you who do airbrushing, it's really odd that sometimes your paint can flow beautifully and other times it just really plays up for no real reason. Never have quite understood that. Although having a big husky hair on the end of your nozzle, that never helps.